Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into something absolutely fascinating. We are taking a philosophical deep dive into the absolute limits of human knowledge. You know, those great unanswerable questions that have just captivated humanity for centuries? If you're the kind of person who loves pushing the boundaries of what we can definitively know, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get right into this explainer. So why are we so deeply obsessed with the things we just can't answer? It's kind of a defining human trait, right? Throughout this explainer, we're going to tackle this obsession head on. But first, we really need to reframe how we look at these mysteries. They aren't failures of science or philosophy, not at all. Think of them as the ultimate frontiers of thought. They're basically the edges of the map where our current understanding just stops. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the inner mystery, the nature of consciousness. We're starting at the micro level with the most intimate mystery of all, and I absolutely love this definition because it forces a sudden meta moment. Consciousness is notoriously difficult to pin down or define, yet it's the very thing you are actively using to interpret this information right now. Literally, your mind is trying to comprehend its own existence at this exact second. It's the lens through which we experience absolutely everything, yet it remains fundamentally mysterious. We call this the ultimate inner frontier for a very good reason. Philosophers and scientists often refer to this as the hard problem of consciousness. See, mapping neurons firing or tracking brainwaves, believe it or not, that's considered the easy problem. We've made incredible, breathtaking scientific progress there. But the hard problem? That's explaining how those physical processes actually create a subjective feeling. How do meat and electricity generate the experience of tasting a strawberry or feeling joy? The why and the how of our inner reality sit right at the absolute boundary of our current knowledge. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it leads us right into Section 2, the illusion of control, the existence of free will. Pivoting from consciousness itself to whether we actually have any control over it, let's do a quick thought experiment. Did you freely choose to watch this explainer today? Or, think about it, was your decision to click and listen just the inevitable result of 1,000 prior causes? Your biology, your environment, maybe just the algorithm serving it up? It's a brilliant question because it directly challenges our most basic, day-to-day sense of independence and autonomy. We are caught in this massive philosophical tension here. On one side, you have determinism. That's the idea that our actions are entirely dictated by a chain of prior physical causes stretching way back into the past. On the other side is free choice, that deeply ingrained, undeniable human feeling that you are the sole author of your own actions. So this debate ultimately breaks down into a profound paradox. We all walk around feeling completely free, yet scientifically and philosophically proving that we aren't just playing out some predetermined script of biology and physics. That remains a total mystery. Are our actions truly our own? Is choice simply a really convincing illusion? The existence of free will perfectly highlights a true, and perhaps permanent, limit of what we can definitively prove. Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 3, the ultimate origin, the Big Bang. Zooming all the way out from the inner workings of the human mind to the grandest scale imaginable, we can actually trace time backward through cosmic history. We have today, right now, with you watching this explainer, and we can reverse the clock all the way to 13.8 billion years ago, the Big Bang. But look at what happens right before that. We stop abruptly at a giant question mark. That question mark emphasizes the absolute hard limit of human knowledge when it comes to time and origins. So, the crucial point is that staring at that question mark forces us to confront the ultimate macro question. Was the Big Bang merely an accident? Was the origin of everything we know, everything we can ever observe, just a random, spontaneous occurrence in the void? Or was there a precursor, a cause, a reason for it all? The reality is, knowing whether the Big Bang was a mere accident or the result of something else entirely currently sits firmly beyond human comprehension. And there's a very specific reason it scales completely past our understanding. At the exact moment of the Big Bang, what we call the singularity, our current laws of physics, specifically gravity and quantum mechanics, they break down entirely. The very math we use to describe reality literally stops working. Which brings us to Section 4, the limits of human knowledge, embracing the unknown. We've traveled from the intimacy of the mind all the way to the birth of the universe, the nature of consciousness, the existence of free will. Whether the Big Bang was an accident,
You see, our deep, persistent obsession with these specific topics stems entirely from the fact that they are the final, uncrackable frontiers. They are the ultimate puzzles that just refuse to be neatly solved.
And this brilliantly illustrates something really important. We often think of ignorance as a negative, right? But the awe of not knowing is exactly what makes the human experience so incredibly rich and intellectually fascinating. It's the driving force behind art, philosophy, science, and just endless curiosity. Lacking the definitive answers to these grand questions isn't a flaw. It is quite literally a feature of being human. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. As we push against the absolute limits of human knowledge, is it really the final answers we're seeking? Or is it the profound awe of the questions themselves that keeps us moving forward? Take a moment to think about that. And whatever you conclude, keep embracing the great mysteries.